Welcome back, friends. Lost Guy here. Time for more of the voice LP for Greatest Attorney. And obviously the answer's right here. Present. What these two pieces of evidence have in common is a signature. A signature? The signature on the illustration that accompanies the 10-year-old article and the signature on the contract belong to the same person. What? As the court has heard, this illustration was drawn 10 years ago by the newspaper reporter who found Mr. Drebber and interviewed him about his ordeal. If you look closely, the reporter's signature can be seen in the bottom right corner of the drawing. And if you look at the contract here, which was signed between the witness and the victim last year, you can clearly see Mr. Asman's signature at the bottom.
Let me see now. Good lord, yes, they're identical.
In short, the journalist who drew the illustration and wrote the article published about Mr. Drebber 10 years ago was the victim of this case, Mr. Odie Asman. What the hell?
Objection!
But explain to the court why. Why would that constitute a motive for the witness to murder Asman? Well, if you think back, you'll remember that Mr. Drebber talked about that article in his testimony.
Good day for helping you say.
Yes, exhuming fresh corpses to sell is reasonably lucrative.
That is quite beyond the pale. You would invite divine retribution, sir.
Yes, well, I think I suffered retribution enough. The Daily Circus eventually unearthed my name and put it in print. It caused me a great many headaches. In the end, I had to leave the university. That was the only paper with the bad grace to identify me, and ambiguously, I might add. Then I gave up on my dreams of becoming a scientist, and it was all because of that newspaper article. At the time, you were a student of the University of London who dreamt of becoming a scientist. However, the single newspaper article changed your entire life.
So Mr. Asman used to be a newspaper journalist, did he?
He did, my lord. In fact, it's a widely held belief that Mr. Asman managed to position himself at the heart of his criminal network, thanks to the many dubious connections he made during his time as reporter. So you had to give up on your dream and leave university. You lost everything. Eventually you found yourself working in the field of science, but only in the shadows. And all because of that article, written by Mr. Asman. Enough. Enough. Stop this endless dribble about my life.
What? Explain yourself, Mr. Drebber.
Yes, it's true. I had to leave the university as a result of that article. But it was just the straw that broke the camel's back.
What do you mean?
Almost every student of science in the faculty was too poor to actually conduct any research. But they struggled on with their hypotheses anyway. We all did, only to have them taken by vultures. Sooner or later, you knew your ideas would be stolen and patented by some wretch or other, after all.
Good gracious.
Making a name for yourself as a scientist in a climate like that was a miracle only a select few geniuses could ever hope to achieve. Personally, I wasn't one of those geniuses, so it was hardly a wrench. Okay. Being forced out of the university because of Logate was the best thing that could have happened to me. Doesn't seem very happy about it. Mr. Trevor, do you genuinely believe that? Of course, I do. Who's better placed to know whether or not I possess a talent for science than me? I'm sorry to say that your words don't ring true at all. How dare you? And I have evidence to prove it. Oh, there it is. How are you in a position to say anything about me? I don't know you from Adam. I got better at this. Fine. If you think you have evidence, go ahead. Show it. What could you possibly have to disprove the idea that I was happy to leave university because I lacked talent? Your trophy, boy!
Take that!
Do you remember this, Mr. Trevor? We found it at your workshop. Is that a Royal Society trophy for excellence in science? How do you know that?
What exactly is this trophy, Consul?
It's the greatest honor that can be bestowed on a young scientist, my lord.
There's no higher accolade. It recognizes emerging talent and promises a bright future. Good gracious!
Your prospects for the future were excellent, weren't they, Mr. Trevor? Because even then, you were a genius in your field. But you lost everything. You had no more future. Your talents would go to waste. All as a result of this one newspaper article. I don't know when you realized who Mr. Asmund was, but when it dawned on you that he was the same journalist who 10 years ago ruined your life, it's abundantly clear that you had no intention of forgiving the man. The truth is...
Finally, he's going to fold. No, he's not.
Who says hold it? Who said hold it? She said hold it? Fine. Clearly this has run its course now. What? I admit it. All of it.
What?
What are you doing? It's exactly as the Japanese man said. I was coerced into going along with this man's plot to murder the victim. On condition that he kept my dirty secret from 10 years ago.
No. Good Lord! Dr. Scythe, do you realize what you're saying, woman?
It's all true. That day, when I arrived at the Crystal Tower and saw the birdcage, my heart nearly stopped beating. That memory from a decade ago that I'd done my best to bury deep inside myself. It was the professor again, staring me in the face. And then, before I had a chance to react, I noticed something else. There was a note tucked inside the model's jacket. Dr. Scythe, you will go along with my plan. From someone who knows the truth about what really happened that night, 10 years ago. Doctor? All the instructions were there in the note. Every detail was meticulously written out. I had no choice but to do what it said. I made the necessary alterations to the scene, and fabricated the autopsy report as instructed. There was really no other choice. It had to be done to protect the judiciary. I can only apologize now.
Hmm. Hmm. Hmm.
Why on earth would you buckle now? Well, there's no point trying to hide it anymore, is there? I would have done anything to stop it coming out, even collaborate in a murder. But the great lie about that execution 10 years ago has been exposed. Whatever happens, I'm finished.
So then, Mr. Trevor, what do you say to that? Your accomplice has admitted everything.
Surely it goes without saying.
Admit your part in it too, then?
Hell no. I admit nothing at all.
What?
Have you forgotten that the kinesis machine was ripped to shreds by an explosion? Short of admitting to a crime, there's really no possible way for you to prove I did anything wrong.
No! Alright. Order! Order! Order!
Whatever this man says, I admit everything. He threatened to expose my secret, so I went along with his plan. And Lord von Zeeks.
Yes?
I hope you'll accept my apologies. What happens next is in your hands, of course.
I have heard more than enough now. I hereby present the final findings of this court.
Huh?
This trial is not the proper forum in which to pursue the alleged wrongdoings of Mr. Drebber. The defendant is Professor Albert Hairbrain.
Very true. It had slipped my mind.
Isn't he one of your closest friends? As the court has heard, Dr. Scythe has admitted to the allegations brought by the defense, thereby absolving the defendant of any possible guilt.
Huh? You mean?
At the present time, it is the conclusion of this court that the defendant was not involved in any wrongdoing. Does the prosecution have any objection?
None, my lord. Oh, congratulations, Miss Naruhodo. You've proven that Professor Hairbrain's innocence.
Without further ado, then, the adjudication. Unless the prosecution or defense have any other matters to discuss.
I don't know. This doesn't feel quite right. Yeah, right? Why did Dr. Scythe suddenly admit to it like that? Is everything alright, Mr. Naruhodo? Like you said before, the way the trial is set to end now, the judge will certainly deliver a verdict of not guilty. But is that really what we want? What the defense should be pushing for now is... Oh no! Oh no! You know what we have to do, but it ain't right! But it is right! Sometimes you can push too far and F yourself over. I know we're supposed to push too far here, but it's so dangerous! Save anyway, just in case we're actually wrong about this.
It's like, what, you want to keep going? Well, then guilty.
Alright, let's see. Thing is, he already said they can't do more here, they should do it in another place, but... do it!
Objection!
The defense objects to the trial ending at this time, my lord.
I beg your pardon?
We demand one final testimony.
What? You do realize I'm about to adjudicate in favor of your client, I presume?
What are you playing at now, my Nipponese friend? Why would you want to obstruct the conclusion of the trial at this point? No defense lawyer in his right mind would do that. Mr. Naruhodo, what exactly are you thinking? The truth, the whole truth, and a way to bring it all out into the truth, the whole truth, and a way to bring it all out into the open. Right. Yes, in hindsight. Ah, yes. One word of warning before I go. If, in the course of the trial this afternoon, you perceive even a shadow of a doubt about the truth, don't let it out of your sight. Pursue it like a dog with a bone. To the bitter end, you understand? Do not falter, whatever may come to pass. I'm sure Mr. Sholmes knew. He must have deduced that this would happen. Yes, I'm here in court to advocate for my client, and to secure an acquittal. Obviously. But that's not all. I believe I have a duty to the court. To pursue the whole truth of the case, until every last detail has laid bare. And that is why the defense calls for further testimony from Dr. Scythe.
Oh, she ain't gonna like that.
Testimony from me? About what? About the nature of your collaboration with Mr. Enoch Drebber. In case it's escaped your attention, I've already admitted to everything I did. The whole truth has already been revealed. So stop wasting everyone's time. As his lordship made very plain, your client will get the acquittal you wanted for him. There's simply no point protracting this business further with another tedious cross-examination.
Objection!
Oh, there it is.
Whoop! Pray forgive my careless handling of that hallowed bottle. I slipped.
That's what you call it? What is your objection, Lord von Zeeks?
The prosecution also calls for supplementary testimony from the witness. Don't be stupid. If there is more to this case than has yet come to light, then I will join my learned friend in pursuing the facts until the bitter end. You'll what?
Lord von Zeeks? This is most irregular, to say the least. However, as the prosecution also calls for it, I will uphold the request. Dr. Scythe, you'll testify for the court, explaining the full extent of your involvement in the murder apparently committed by Mr. Drebber.
Very well.
Okay, here we go. All right.
Witness testimony. The waxwork plot. It all began at the scene when I saw the waxwork and the note tucked inside its jacket. The actual body of the victim, as indicated in the note's instructions, was beneath the experimentation stage. The body had to be arranged in certain ways to implicate the defendant, which was my job. I enlisted the help of the entire forensic investigation team to dress the scene appropriately. The truth about the execution 10 years ago is a state secret of the highest level. I had to protect it.
Alright.
So I was right. The stage and the machine were all specially designed for the deception. So it seems, and all meticulously prepared, you did well to see through it. You're a very shrewd boy.
Oh, hey, look at that face. So kind of you to say.
And what about this autopsy report then? All I did was record the location of the body as being in the Crystal Tower, instead of under the stage. That's all? That's a terrible corruption. Only my team were aware of the deceit, and then only under my explicit instructions. Nobody else at Scotland Yard knew anything about it. I assure you.
You must be thankful for small mercies, I suppose. Well, I believe that testimony has clarified everything. There's no particular need for cross-examination, I would say.
No, I disagree. I can't shake the feeling that something's wrong. Just look at that expression on Dr. Scythe's face. Is the defense's right to cross-examine any witness following testimony? What is it about you Japanese that makes you all so doggedly persistent?
Very well. If you so desire, Counsel, proceed with the cross-examination.
Yes, my lord.
Go to town, whatever.
Here we go, cross-examination. The waxwork plot. 5 parts. From what you described before, it sounds like the note was anonymous. Did you have any idea of who was behind it? There are very few people in the know about what really happened 10 years ago to start with. But anyway, I'd never heard of this engineer, so no, I had no idea. Yet despite not knowing who was behind the plan, you went along with it? I had no choice. Protecting the professor's secret was my only concern. But the horse is bolted now, and the stable door will never shut again. Scotland Yard's reputation will be immeasurably damaged as a result of all this. Yes, thank you, Lord Von Zeeks. I'm well aware of that.
So as I understand it, what you found in the birdcage was a waxwork model. Where then was the victim's body?
So you knew about the special construction of the stage used to carry out the trick, then? It was quite obvious what had happened with the victim and the waxwork. And you switched the two over, didn't you? In other words, you recovered the victim's body as having been discovered in the Crystal Tower, and the waxwork. I wrapped it and sent it by carriage to the specified address at the specified time. And why were you given such instructions? Presumably so it could be recovered by Drebber and returned to Madame Tuspel's. I see, and then you put the birdcage back on the experimentation stage. Yes, although someone obviously made a mistake about which cage should go where. I thought I made it perfectly clear to the team, but still. I suppose you were focused on the victim's body, that being a more important detail. When you say arranged, I presume you mean with this? Yes, the instructions in the engineer's note said something along the lines of fabricate some evidence to make it clear that Harebrain alone could have killed Asmund. So, you mean that was your doing? I fetched Harebrain's ridiculous screwdriver from the stage and took it with me, alone, to the abyss under the stage where the birdcage had fallen.
Alone, Doctor?
Music silence, oh snap. I didn't feel it would be appropriate to involve anybody else in that particular part of the deception. Did you finish him off, or was he already dead? There was a void under the stage where I found the birdcage lying in the dirt. I approached it, leaned down, and slowly opened it up. Then I took the screwdriver in both hands and plunged it into the man's chest. And then you noted that in your fake autopsy report. As a fictitious cause of death. Exactly. So, the actual cause of death was... the trauma resulting from the 30-foot drop. Yeah, that would kill somebody, Jesus.
My word.
What is it, Mrs. Sato? Something about Dr. Sai's last statement is playing on my mind, that's all. Yes, mine too. Dr. Scythe! There's really no need to shout. I can hear you perfectly well. The defense calls for you to add what you just said to your formal testimony. Oh? Which part? What I want her to supplement her testimony with is... the real cause of death. The real cause of death being the fall of 30 feet, that part. Fine, if that's what you want. Just stop yelling, please. The prosecution concurs. On the yelling part.
Very well. You will supplement your testimony now, witness.
If you wish, my lord. God, if she did the kill shot on accident, we'll do that next. Let's go over here. The entire team, in perverting the course of justice? My team consists of the very best investigators there are. I demand loyalty from all members, who operate on a code of chivalry of sorts. You aid and abet a murderer, commit perjury, and dare to talk of chivalry? It was a matter of priorities. What? Nothing was more important than protecting the secret of the professor. My team did what was necessary without losing sight of the primary goal. I consider their conduct exemplary. Don't concede the point, Mr. Naruto. You mustn't let her win. I need a lawyer. I'll take that silence as tacit acceptance. Now can we move on? But at what cost? Faith in Scotland Yard is going to suffer a terrible blow as a result of this. And your precious secret is out now anyway. Yes, as you say. And I take full responsibility. Blow me down, Dr. Scythe! Surely there was some other way you could have protected the secret. No, there really wasn't. I've done my utmost, believe me. In many ways, I respect your determination. I nearly froze under that cold stare as she said that. I do believe she was being genuine, though, Mr. Naruto. So that's her story. She's admitted everything and revealed her full involvement in this crime. I do wonder if there could really be much more to it. Well, I don't know, but I just have a feeling. Do you, Mr. Naruto? The truth is, I find it strange too. How those two are reacting to this in completely opposite ways, I mean. Yes, exactly. For some reason, I feel sure they're still trying to hide something. You're quite sure of that? It was as a result of a broken neck? Yes, as a professional, that was more than apparent. You'd never know just by looking at the photograph of the victim, though, would you? No, that's very true. Obviously not. Which is precisely why coroners are needed to determine the actual facts. Yes, assuming they can be trusted. There's no point calling her assessment into question without evidence. Let's get back to the testimony. Very well. I want to see if we can change that other part back or not.
Hold it!
Is it possible to do the stab from there? That's the question. I'm sure you could ask Dr. Scythe to change the supplementary testimony she gave before. What should I ask her to do with the statement she added? Have her change it, just because see what the other one does. Dr. Scythe, what you said before about what you did to the victim's body. I believe that may be significant, so could you change your supplementary statement to explain that instead? Very well. I stood over the victim's corpse, where it lay in the toppled cage, and plunged the screwdriver into the chest.
Hold it!
Maybe it's not possible. Let's go. So you stabbed Asmund with this? Yes. Far easier than dissection, I assure you. No precision required. What a welcome change. The victim died instantly from a snapped neck. All I did was carry out the instructions I'd been given. As unflinchingly as ever, no doubt? I imagine you didn't bat an eyelid when you drove the weapon into his body. There was no need to bat my eyelids. And what else did you do to twist the backs? Remind the court, why don't you? If you wish. Alright, okay, let's see here. Let us look at the evidence. Present. First, the blood. This is blood. We read this before. Over here. There's no question considering the unusual shape of the handle. This is a screwdriver that was poking through the floor of the kinesis machine. It looks a little bit like a capital A. For Andrew, I suppose. I was hoping to be some comment on the fact that it's a pain in the ass to use with two hands. Alright, go back. The cage. Cage seems like a pain in the ass to move around, but... Alright. We know the damage on the bottom. That's it. Seems really hard to get in there to do the stab she said she did. Oh, the autopsy right here. Here we go. I really don't know, but we know it's going to be something here. Alright, we got time to figure this out. Let's see here. Let's try the cage itself.
Objection!
It ain't the cage itself. Alright.
Objection!
There it is. Alright. I've got a nasty feeling that this inconsistency points to an extremely uncomfortable truth. Oh, new music!
What on earth is the matter, Counsel? Have you lost your tongue?
I apologize, my lord. Dr. Scythe, in that last statement of yours, there's just one point that seems to defy explanation.
Out with it, my learned friend.
There's an obvious inconsistency between your description and this photograph, which shows the victim in the birdcage following the events that led to his death.
Objection!
The court has already examined that photograph in depth. There's nothing new we can learn from it.
Objection!
Yes, we have already considered it, that's true. But we now know the facts to be different. What do you mean?
I believe we should let the defense explain.
I got no clue.
Where in this photograph would we see the alleged inconsistency with the witness's statement?
Thing itself, I guess.
Take that!
Look closely at the bloodstain on the victim's chest. It clearly extends in a downward direction towards the man's feet.
And why is that significant, Counsel?
If the victim was stabbed moments before the kinesis machine was set in motion, that's entirely expected.
Ah, of course, no. That's not what happened.
Oh! Exactly, my lord. Dr. Scythe made it very clear in her testimony just now. At the point at which she stole Professor Harebrain's screwdriver and stabbed the victim, when he was laying on the ground, was after the grand deception was set in motion, when the birdcage had fallen below the stage out of sight. And from the shape of it, it's clear the birdcage would have fallen on its side after the 30-foot drop. And the victim had really been stabbed while it's inside the birdcage in that position. The blood from the wound would have spread out equally in all directions. That's a good point. For to have formed the longitudinal appearance we see in the picture is inconceivable. That's a good point, you didn't even think of that. Ah. Given that the victim's blood seeped vertically downwards from the wound, it must be the case that when you stabbed Mr. Asman, he was standing up. In short, Dr. Scythe, your latest testimony was a total fabrication. Oh, snap! I knew it. I was right. Now I've identified that contradiction. There's only one way to explain the facts. We've all been under a great misapprehension here. What? What sort of misapprehension? Dr. Scythe. Huh? You claim you were coerced into helping Mr. Drebber as a result of the note he left in the waxwork. You claim that you made changes to the scene of the crime to implicate the defendant. And you claim that you authored a fake autopsy report to cover your tracks. But one of those claims is an out-and-out lie. Because the question of what the bloodstain really tells us has only one possible answer. If that is the case, what is it, man?
Counsel, you've clearly struck upon a revelation. Now tell the court what it is. Which part of Dr. Scythe's story is shown to be a lie by the contradiction of her testimony?
I don't know. I don't freaking know. Saving. We're gonna figure that out next effing time. Okay, real quick. What is the navigation? He's in the stabbing of the autopsy report. It's a 50-50 on that one. But that's it for now. Next time we'll see. This is pretty dang good music. I have fun. Hope if I'm watching. That's what's up, hasn't it? Having fun. Thanks for coming by, and see you next time.